Hello everyone, I am Dr. Priyanka Madia. I will be your instructor for Module 3. In Module 3 today, I am considering Unit 8, that is Economic Institutions and their Impact on Peace. Before the module discussion, I want to delineate the course outlines to ensure a clear understanding of course contents in this unit. Course outlines are as follows. Number 1. To understand the economic institutions, those who are engaged in expanding peace. Second one is to explore the role played by economic institutions in ensuring peace in stabilized economies. But here I want to tell, yes, I will be focusing on before emergence of conflict. Okay, so economic institutions play a major role in spreading the ripples of peace within the societies and among the nations. These institutions include UN, UNESCO, the World Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, means EBRD, and the European Union, of course. These institutions and organizations play a vital role in expansion of peace. They are major support providers as they help in creating new opportunities of jobs and ensure that the employed masses get fair wages. They also help in creating an environment where stability and equitable development can be ensured. It also helps in reducing the spatial distribution of income between haves and have-nots. This is ensured by creation of new jobs and opportunities which leads to income generation. The income generation ensures more avenues of investment in both domestic and foreign domain. More investments generate more money. As a result, the economic growth of associated economies is promoted. Moreover, the international organizations like World Trade Organization. Please listen, once again I am talking about World Trade Organization and International Monetary Fund. These are two organizations that provide forums for dialogue and conflict resolution among the economies. This ensures an overall environment of peace and economic stability. By addressing these areas, economic institutions help create an environment where peace can flourish. It goes without saying that these economic institutions play a vital role in stabilized, means those economies wherein the conflicts have not yet emerged, as well as the economies wherein the conflicts have emerged. The role played by economic institutions in stabilized conditions has been discussed in this unit. However, the role played by these institutions in post-conflict situations is highlighted at the end of Unit 7. The role played by economic institutions in stabilized conditions is as under. Number 1. These economic institutions ensure access to basic needs. The economic institutions, they help in addressing the fundamental needs of masses of the economies. These fundamental needs include access to food, clothing, shelter, healthcare and education, of course. The timely fulfillment of these needs promotes human development and well-being. These institutions ensure timely access to fundamental needs and try to address the issues of resource scarce nations. These institutions focus on resource provisioning and resource mobility. Now, I want to explain this with the help of an example. For example, the UN Development Programme, UNDP, promotes Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and they help to create stable societies. Another example is UNESCO's Education for Sustainable Development, means I am talking about ESD program. This program aims at creation and adoption of educational systems that promote cultural understanding among the masses. Now, what is the motive? The motive is to mitigate potential conflicts fueled by ignorance and intolerance. It is believed that a strong and consolidated educational system would help in promoting a better environment where the enforcement of human rights and thereby the culture of peace would be restored. As a result, the sustainable economic growth could be promoted. Thus, UNESCO helps to create a congenial environment by creating educated minds who avoid potential conflicts fueled by ignorance and intolerance. The second major contribution is poverty alleviation. The World Bank's International Development Association, I'm talking about IDA here, it aims at mitigation of poverty by providing grants, loans at low rate of interest to the nations that are having poor financial conditions. In addition, funds are also provided for funding infrastructural projects, education and healthcare. Thus, World Bank provides economic, educational and infrastructural opportunities to the economies that require them. As a result, the risk of conflict is mitigated among the nations. Now, I want to tell you the third point, which says that these economic institutions help in ensuring stability in both short run and long run. Now, European Union's instrument contributing to stability and peace is a program that was initiated by EU in 2014. It focused on providing short-term support to the countries or regions where crises may emerge. It also provides long-term support to the conflict prevention, peace building and crisis preparedness activities. It provides economic support to governance reforms, conflict prevention and post-conflict recovery. The EU works to stabilize the regions and ensures that peace prevails. The fourth point is encouraging entrepreneurship by inclusion in curricula. Economic institutions also create opportunities for entrepreneurship. UNESCO integrates entrepreneurship education into school curricula and young people with skills necessary for starting and managing businesses. Programs such as UNESCO UNIVOC, International Center for Technical and Vocational Education and Training, emphasize the importance of entrepreneurship in vocational training. Now, the next contribution is providing finance to aspiring entrepreneurs. The UN works through certain agencies and programs such as United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. I am talking about UNECTED here. For what? For supporting budding entrepreneurs. For instance, UNECTED's Empretech program helps the aspiring entrepreneurs by providing them funds. So this is how the resource case people, they get the funds. It means that the EU, through creation of European Social Fund, also encourages entrepreneurship. In this initiative, the member nations are provided funds as well as guidance for startups and small businesses. I want to add something here. Programs like EBRD's Small Business Initiative, it also provides financial support to the small and medium-sized entrepreneurs, means I'm talking about SMEs here, in its countries of operation. The next role is promoting international cooperation and diplomacy. Now, these economic institutions, they also facilitate the cooperation, dialogue and diplomacy among the nations. For instance, European Union, EU, means EU has been instrumental in fostering peace among the member nations through economic integration, trade and agreement. They try to focus on certain fronts, and these efforts are likely to reduce the possibility of conflict. Another role played by these institutions involve promoting inclusive economic growth. Economic institutions such as the EU and the EBRD, they prioritize inclusive growth, equitable distribution of resources and poverty alleviation and reduction. This is due to the fact that mitigation of socio-economic disparities is important, and it is important because this is likely to reduce the grievances that may lead to conflict. Now, I want to talk about investment in human capital. Economic institutions, they help in supporting peace as they help in investing in education, healthcare and skill development activities. In addition, they also focus on peace by promoting the marginalized communities. This improves social cohesion and reduces the potential probabilities for violent violent conflicts. As a result, the people focus more on productive activities rather than focusing on the destructive activities. The next point is addressing the root causes of conflict. Economic institutions such as UN has economic agencies such as United Nations Development Program and United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, which identify underlying causes of conflict. Now, these causes include economic inequality, poverty and unemployment. These agencies work on these root causes through targeted policies and programs. Thus, they try to prevent conflict, build or restore peace. The next contribution is international support and integration. The international economic institutions such as World Bank, IMF, they provide support in order to integrate the economies and thus help in building and strengthening the economies. This helps in stabilizing any economy by fostering cooperation with global markets. This also helps in reducing reliance on violence and that can endanger the economic survival of the nations. Another contribution of these economic institutions is promotion of sustainable development. Economic institutions such as IMF and World Bank, they provide financial assistance. I have already told you, financial assistance, technical expertise and policy advice to countries in need. These help the dilapidating economies to stabilize their operations. Thus, these institutions ensure sustainable development, which leads to global economic stability and thus contribute to peace. The next contribution of these economic institutions is making investments in conflict prevention and peace building. The World Trade Organization helps to promote free trade and tries to ensure the geostrategic development of member nations. It aims to resolve the trade disputes and tries to provide a platform for negotiation among the member nations. In this manner, it helps in avoiding conflicts that could escalate into broader geopolitical tensions or even armed conflict. In summary, economic institutions play a multifaceted role in promoting peace. They help in addressing the socio-economic disparities, fostering economic cooperation, addressing the root causes of conflict and investing in conflict prevention. In addition, they also make efforts for peace-building exercises. They promote inclusive and sustainable economic development. Thus, economic institutions, they contribute towards conflict prevention and thereby ensure stronger societies. I want to add something in this. Economic institutions thus play a significant role by addressing the socio-economic disparities, promoting economic growth, fostering international cooperation. They help in ensuring access to basic needs and thereby they help in alleviating and mitigating the impact of poverty. They also support the entrepreneurs, they also invest human capital, and these are the roles which contribute to global stability and peace. By mitigating the root causes of conflict and promoting inclusive and sustainable development, these institutions help to build stronger societies and reduce likelihood of conflicts. I want to sum up everything right now. To sum up the discussion on the roles of economic institutions, I want to say that these institutions help in addressing the physiological needs like access to food, clothing, shelter, healthcare and education of the masses of economies. These institutions also promote human development and well-being by ensuring the timely access to the resources. The resources means whenever they are in need, they want to satisfy fundamental need, they try to address the issues of resource scarcity. Another aim of these organizations is the mitigation of poverty, which I have already explained, by providing grants and loans at lower rate of interest to the fund-scarce nations. They not only support the economies in financial difficulty, but also provide funds for strengthening infrastructure, education and healthcare. Thus, these organizations provide economic support for governance reforms, conflict prevention and post-conflict recovery also. They also provide finance for budding entrepreneurs. They try to analyze the root causes of conflict and facilitate the cooperation, dialogue and diplomacy among the nations. I have already told you that they emphasize inclusive growth, ensure equitable distribution of resources and aim at poverty mitigation. They try to prevent conflict and ensure peace at any cost. All these efforts lead to sustainable development and help in removing and mitigating whatever difficulties, whatever tensions which are prevailing in the economies. Now, I want to emphasize that whatever role these institutions are playing, we should recognize it, and there are a number of initiatives which are aiming at reduction of conflicts by fostering the collaboration, mutual understanding, and these institutions like UN, EU and EBRD, they are striving hard in order to emphasize the inclusive growth and equitable resource distribution. In addition, they are also trying hard for removal of socio-economic disparities. They want to remove the grievances whatsoever are existing. They also aim at investing in education, healthcare and skill development. They also focus on skill development activities. All these activities are likely to provide an environment of social cohesion and promote the possibility of prevalence of peace and removal of conflicts. Agencies such as UNDP, United, they are also working on identification of root causes of conflicts, including economic inequality, poverty, unemployment. Now, by targeting these issues, the main aim is to prevent the conflicts, to build and restore peace. Now, international economic organizations like World Bank, IMF cannot be forgotten in this. They are also striving hard, they are also supporting hard in order to ensure that the peace is prevailed in global economies and the reliance on violent conflicts and armed conflicts is removed totally. Institutions such as IMF and World Bank, they are also providing financial assistance. As I have already discussed, the financial assistance is being provided. The main motive is to stabilize and develop the economies. This is the major objective. Now, WTO also aims at promoting free trade and providing a platform, and this platform enables the resolution of trade disputes by addressing the social tensions and preventing broader geopolitical conflicts. WTO also aims at maintaining international peace, and thus again I want to emphasize that economic institutions play a major role in promoting peace as they address multifaceted issues such as socio-economic disparities, poverty, then low capital formation, and whatever conflicts are occurring in the economy, they try to address all those issues and try to resolve them. Thus, at the end, I want to say that economic institutions, they have contributed a lot towards conflict prevention, and thereby they help in building stronger and much stronger societies by avoiding the possibilities of war, by believing in the possibility of conflicts, and by aiming at ensuring the peace at every cost. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Thank you so much.